bitches.
Hi, babes.
Welcome to episode 16?
16? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, girl.
We are here.
1/6.
We are going to go on a tangent today about people pleasing and just kind of dive into all of that.
Why people pleasing doesn't help you or anyone that you're people pleasing for. Because nobody likes that.
Yeah. I was kind of looking into people pleasing on the web just to kind of...
Where else do you do research?
Research. And what popped up was actually surprising because it related a lot to me. And I know I'm definitely on that people-pleasing train and how it's kind of affected me, how it's affected others. You're right. It doesn't help anyone. It's actually a form of a form of, I guess, in a sense, it's like a trauma response.
Mm-hmm.
And it, can stem from many things, but usually people pleasers have a hard time saying no. They tend to overlook boundaries. They will really put others'
Your own
needs.
boundaries.
Yes,
Your own boundaries.
own boundaries. They'll really put other people's needs before their own, and a lot of it comes from a sense of low self-esteem, insecurity. They just people pleasers just want to somehow feel valued.
Good job.
Yeah,
get that value.
that praise, that acceptance.
Uh-huh.
And they'll kind of do anything to really.
I think people pleasing
So,
is literally the opposite end of the spectrum of being uber dependent and independent, where
yes.
you no longer need someone versus I want everyone to tell me I'm doing good all the time. You know what I mean? Because I listened to a podcast on people pleasing for our podcast, so I could do a little bit of research. But then one of the podcasts that I've listened to this week, just in shuffle of my things, was about God, what did he call it though? It wasn't called codependent, right? Because that's when you're leaning on other people, things like that. But it you're hyper dependent, hyper independent, and when that happens, how you just. It's very similar in the aspect of not making the words come out in a pretty picture art together. So people pleasing, you want everybody to be happy and you want to get your value out of giving to other people, and other people are well then what am I supposed to do for you if you're doing things for me all the time? How can I help you if you don't want help, kind of thing, where when you're hyper dependent, you're I don't want anybody's help, and you kind of have to retrain your brain. I guess that's where my brain thinks that they're on the same. I'm talking my problems out. I think that's why I'm thinking that they're so similar, is because you kind of have to work yourself back to trusting that people need you and that people aren't gonna let you down, that people aren't gonna hurt you. I think that's why I think they're so similar, is because you either do so much for people because you've been hurt in that same way, or you've been hurt in that way, and so you're fuck everybody, I'm gonna fucking never do anything for everybody ever again, right? So I think that in that same sense of if what can I do for you, and what can you do for me? People like to feel that value. Absolutely. in the relationship. I want you to feel good about our relationship, but I want to feel good about our relationship. I want to know that I can do things for you and you can do things for me, not just you're always going to come in clutch for me, because then what the fuck am I supposed to do for our friendship? You know what I mean? Or if I'm always going to take care of myself, then how are you ever going to come in and help me? You know what I mean? Yeah. I went on a tangent because I couldn't figure out where I was fucking going for a second, so I had to prove my point.
Absolutely. Codependency ties into people pleasers too, because they tend to, like I said, put their needs kind of on the back burner and try to really just it can be harmful. People pleasing is harmful in every
It is, because it drains the shit out of you as the people pleaser. And I'm not saying you, because you just said you tend to people please, because girl, I do too. My therapist was oh, you're codependent, and I was I'm canceling therapy right now. And she was please don't. And I was well, then I'm cutting all my friends off. Don't do that either. So, totally get that, because you just want everybody around you to be pleased and satisfied and happy, and even if they are hurting you, or they're doing repeated behaviors to prove to you that, like, they don't even want the help that you're trying to give them, like, they're not even giving it to themselves, let alone do they want it from you, you know what I mean? So I think that's where it starts to hurt you, and it starts to drain you as the people pleaser, because you're continuing to pour into cups that just don't even care, you know? You're literally letting your self-respect get beat down, and that's for someone that doesn't even respect you, really, because
and that's really probably where the low, like, self-esteem, the low, like, the insecurity can really just
and it just
light that flame.
Yes,
like,
because it just gets fed on by those people that are going to, because people who truly genuinely love you will notice when you're people pleasing, and they can kind of like,
hey yo,
it's time to take that time for yourself, or you don't have to do this for us, you don't have to do this for me, like you don't have to do that at all, you know? They can kind of like help you through that. I think it can get a little dangerous too, when, especially now at our age, like, we become accustomed to those trauma responses of people pleasing and things where it just becomes our forefront. So when we meet someone and we're a people pleaser, when you come out of that stage into your new era or your new being of self, and you no longer want to people please, all those people that you met when you were a people pleaser are going to fall off. And that hurts you, and it hurts a lot of other people, because now all of a sudden you're like, fuck you, I value myself. And you're like, well, why?
Yeah.
But you should never have people in your circle that are going to let you devalue yourself to value them. Right. That literally makes no sense.
But like, I was right there with you. I was right there with you.
No, I'm saying, like, people who do that make no sense.
They
you
make
know what
no
I'm
sense,
saying? That's gross. Like, how can you do that? I was just having a conversation with a client the other day, like, scam callers, like those fake health insurance things that'll, like, take your money, but then they're, like, just a pretend thing. How can you do that to people? Like, how can you take people's time, their money, their energy, their love, and just literally shit on it? I don't get that. I don't get how people, I know that's how people are raised, and that's how, like, that's other people's trauma. Well, fuck your trauma. Because your trauma is making me traumatized. But, like, I don't get the draining. Because I know, like, in our friendship, we are quick to check each other if we notice one has too much on their plate, and be like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, and especially, like, then if we notice that and we're trying to do something for the other, or trying to come to, like, a girls' night or whatever, but we're so frazzled that we're, like, in tears, we're like, bitch, we don't have to have girls' night. Like, it's fine, you know? Like, go home and take a bath. Like,
do something. Yeah,
that's something that I talked about in the episode when you weren't able to show. That, like, you just need to keep people around you that are literally going to make you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside. That even in your lowest of moments, they're going to be like, no, girl, like, I got you. Like, it's okay. And I think that kind of ties in with people pleasing, because, like, like we said, like, if people are going to allow you to do that all the time, and they're not, if you're not going to match my energy, I don't know why we're here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know?
Right.
In your research, what's something that stood out to you?
You know, I was looking at ways to kind of help you take those steps to stop people pleasing, and the first one was setting boundaries, and it can be just starting small is actually what it said, was starting small. Say no to something, you know. It was, what did it say? It was something like, people pleasers have a hard time, like, they overshare their need of why they can't do something, and that leaves room for either that person that is trying to get something out of the people pleaser, if that makes sense. If you leave kind of that space, they'll try to kind of use that to still get their way. Mm-hmm. And so it said that no is a full sentence. That's it. Starting small and knowing that no is just a full sentence is one place you can start. But also just, I had a list, actually. I'm going to grab it so I don't forget everything. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. Okay, so setting goals and priorities.
I like that one.
Yeah. I think that, I mean, you can really just take that and...
Well, because making priorities for yourself
Yes.
is prioritizing yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, if I tell myself every single day, I'm going to go to the gym. Well, let me tell you, I did not wake up early today to go to the gym, so I know I have to go to the gym after work. But if one of you guys was like, hey, let's go get dinner because, like, you guys leave town a couple days, whatever, and I was like, fuck the gym, I'm going to go out. I just prioritized everyone else and going to dinner with my friends over myself and over going to the gym instead of being like, I haven't hit my workout yet today.
Right.
I'm going to go hit my workout, but could we go grab, like, dessert and, like, happy hour appetizers afterwards kind of thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just got to
Yes.
give yourself, because... And I'm sure there's going to be a comment that's like, well, what if you went out to dinner and then went to the gym afterwards? We all know how that goes, girl. You go out with your girls, and you having a drink. You're not going to the gym after that. So you have to make sure, and again, you still push your stuff back
Yeah.
for something else. You did not prioritize yourself. You did not say no. And again, you know is a full sentence, 100 million %. But if you want to, you're not inclined. We've
Right.
said that before.
Right.
You are never inclined to tell anybody, to give anybody an explanation of what you're doing with your life, what you're doing with your time. But I mean, if I give a fuck about you,
Right.
if I care about you, I love you, I'm going to give you that at least.
Yeah,
Like, let you
absolutely.
know why not. But can we go ahead and do this instead? You know, there is a way, like, there is a point and there are people that you're going to have to set those boundaries with. And you will have to throw the hammer, girl. But there are going to be people that you're going to be soft with your boundaries because they understood it the first time. They
Yeah.
didn't have to be told. They didn't need the hammer thrown at them. They didn't really need the boundaries in the first place because they just get it. Like, that those are the people that you just want to focus on.
Yeah.
Like, those are the people, places, and things that you focus on. That'll, the glimmers.
The
Your little
glimmers, yes.
Your little happy times.
Yes.
Your little sunshine.
But you're so right. There's people out there that will, I mean, take that people pleasing and run with it. So,
that's
you just gotta-
form of, again, you could say that's a form of your trauma, and that's your response is like just taking from people. But I think that's a form of manipulation.
Mhm.
That you are so prone to just take from the person that loves you and is willing to give to you. Like, yes, I'm going to pour into you, but if you grab the vase and you're like this, you didn't even, not only did you not leave enough for me, but what about anybody else that I was going to give that to? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
that's just like
Yes.
what it's
Love
what I
that.
think. You know what I'm
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, if I have to give you an inch and you feel like you need to run and take a mile, because I'm going to give you a mile eventually. 100%. That's just the person I am. But that's why we're talking about people pleasing, is because I'm not supposed to give you a mile.
Exactly.
Especially not if you ask for it. What else is on that list, girl?
So the next one was stall for time. So when someone asks you for something, stall for time to really feel out if that is something you want to do. I think oftentimes it's yes right away, you know? Yes, let's do that. Yes, yes, yes. Go, go, go. And so stalling for time kind of resets you get to see your goals, your priorities, and you're like, yep, that's something I want to do. Or, you know, you have that time to be like, maybe you have to have a little self-talk to say no, you know?
Right.
Starting small. Assessing the request, too, is really important. So just hearing what people are asking of you, you know, assessing that, is that lined up with where I'm going, what I want to do,
Right,
etc.
right. How much is this going to take of me? What situation does this put me in?
Exactly.
We often forget, I feel like people pleasers often forget the situation that's about to put them in, whether that is financially, whether it is safety, whatever that is. You totally forget where this request is going to put you and what that's going to look like for you. Girl, you could wind up getting arrested, depending what they ask you to do. So... be careful. Assess the request.
Assess the request.
You know,
you don't want to get locked up. You know, something that surprised me was they had on there try positive self-talk. Like I said earlier, a lot of things stem from low self-esteem, insecurity. So just instilling positivity within yourself, feeling good within yourself, that is where it really
the relationship
matters.
with self affects literally everything. Like, it literally affects everything, girl, because the way you talk to yourself, the way you think about yourself, the way you just are to yourself and with yourself, the way you are about yourself around other people and with other people, that affects literally everything.
You know, I have been in just like the worst place mentally with that self-positive talk. That's something I really struggle with.
I feel that.
So quick to
as soon as you
so
do one
quick,
thing, you're
I'm
like, you dumbass.
yes,
bitch.
yes,
Like,
yes.
I'll middle name myself. I'm like, Rebecca Allen.
Yes.
I don't even remember what I did this morning, and I was so mad at myself that I was like, literally, why are you so dumb? Why can't you get it together? And it's like, would I say that to you? Would I say that to Tay? Literally never. So
No.
I wouldn't even say that to my sister. You know what I mean?
It's
But
so easy to say that to myself. And like, I feel like also when I disappoint people, like it hurts. It's like it's something that like you continue to just like dog yourself on. So that positive self-talk is
100%.
self-love, all of it.
It's funny because like you're supposed to start with it just saying it, like while you're in the car, things like that, but you're supposed to get to that point where you can look at yourself in the mirror and have that positive talk that you would have with your friend, that you would have like that I'd be like, you a dope ass bitch. You're so funny. You're my favorite girl. Like, you gotta do that with yourself because that is so important. And that eye contact and just seeing you with just seeing someone say that to you, like it means a lot. So it's so cheesy and it's so corny, and I, in the beginning of my healing journey and doing positive affirmations, I was like, ain't no fucking way. I did the same thing with journaling where I was like, that's cringy. Those are cringy. Positive affirmations, looking at myself in the mirror, journaling, ew, gross, cringe. I'm not doing any of that. No, it all works. There's a reason that it's so like cringy and stereotypical and that everybody talks about it is because it works, you know. So, and I'm not saying you have to journal and have a diary and you don't have
and
to
everything's gonna like fall into place,
and you don't have
but
to talk to yourself nice every single day for everything to work perfectly, but body, mind, and spirit go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And it all starts with your mind.
And I think that energy that you keep those, you know, keep giving and not receiving, you're gonna run out of fuel eventually. So, you know,
100%. A car can't run without hitting a gas station.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
if you are not,
the fuel pump literally can't pump any more fuel out unless something comes and fills it up to you. You know, like literally there's just, we have to have, first of all, we have to be able, like you said, say no. You have to prioritize yourself. You have to set that time aside for yourself so that you can reset, recharge, decompress, do all of that. But again, focusing on those people, those places, and those things that are just going to spark something inside of you that makes you not feel like you have to bend over backwards. This is honestly something that I was thinking about the other day is like, was that your sister that was in here?
Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself how I was singing in here. It was Lips of an Angel by Camryn, and I was literally back there singing, but I was like, with the lips of an angel. Like, I wasn't like singing. Like, I was fucking off, right? And I was like, I feel so fucking comfortable around you bitches. Like, around you, Tay. Like, I don't even know your sister. You know what I mean? But like, just knowing you, knowing your mom, like, I don't know, there's just something about like these friendships that I have built over the last couple years that I've been here in Omaha, that I haven't really had like deep friendships like that where you're just like, you don't have to second guess a fuck thing with each other.
Yeah.
Like, we literally never have to. It's like when we're all together, or if it's just me and you, or just me and Tay, like we're in like this whole other bubble of like laughing, having a good time. Like, we just get it, and we just get each other, and we just are always on the same vibe and the same wavelength, and we hardly even have to say words. We just be looking at each other, and we get the whole paragraph. You know?
I think the last thing that I was gonna say about people pleasing and starting small is those steps of saying no, or just assessing like what you really want, prioritizing yourself. It may feel like you are being mean when you establish boundaries and say no to things that were no longer serving you, but I promise you it's worth it.
It gets easier.
And it does.
That's part of the healing. It's not all going to be easy. It's literally, I refer it to like the gym. Like, as much as it sucks to up the weight and do like 2 more reps with it, just like saying no and setting those boundaries is gonna suck. When you see the muscle, when you flex, or when you see yourself after you've set boundaries and now you have an afternoon to yourself to decompress, recharge. You don't have to go spend $100 to go to a concert that you didn't want to go to, whatever it is.
Right.
You're gonna be that much. It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. So don't give up on yourself. Don't give in to things, people, and places that you don't want to do, be around, or mess with.
Yeah.
Find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You can email us. YouTube. Girl, well, you'll watch this on YouTube. Lash Confessions everywhere. And we cannot wait to see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.